here's why you'll get cheated on. Okay, so you attracted this girl, you did all these things, you leveled yourself up, you were focused on your purpose, getting money, your physique, doing all this. But now, since you have her, you let go, which now that you have her, there's no point in working hard because you already have this girl, the girl that you attracted, everything. You let go of the gas pedal, which that's where you start to get complacent. You do. You start to lose money in your business, lose focus on your purpose, if that makes sense. And overall, when you get complacent, your life gets worse because you're just losing. You just having you just didn't you having fuck you haven't been keeping yourself up to a higher standard where before no before you were working out, doing all these things, not eating the junk food, not going out drinking, doing all this stuff. But now you started doing all these things, all these bad habits with her, and and she'll see that you're getting complacent. You're not on your purpose, you're not on your grind, you're not leveling up, and she's not wrong for wanting to leave or not wanting to leave, wanting to cheat because she was attracted to you in the beginning where she saw you going out, focusing, doing all these things. Now she sees a worser version, worser version than you were because you've been complacent. You let go of the gas pedal. You you stop playing the game. You stop leveling up, and she'll start looking for something else because she sees that she's losing respect for you. She lost respect for you because you've been doing all these bad stuff, like like eating the junk food, drinking, all this stuff, and that's why you'll get cheated on because you've just been complacent, and I think that's a lose lose because because the first one is because you lose your purpose, you lose sense of your purpose, you lose your focus, you lose you're just losing. You're not leveling up. You're just matter of fact. Your levels are going down, and on top of that, you you lose a girl, and that's something that we don't want to do, and we don't want to go through. But it happens. If you get complacent and you just don't hold yourself up to the highest standard, you she'll see that, and then she might leave. She might lose respect for you. She might cheat. She might do all these things because you've been complacent. And yeah, this might seem like a bad thing where she cheats, but she's not wrong for doing this. And I feel like actually women are doing us a favor because they actually want us to be better, like better, like better in the relationship. They see us leveling up more and more, getting our money, focusing on our purpose, focusing on our business, and her seeing that, her seeing, us leveling up like level 2, level 3, level 4, they're gonna be even more attracted to us. Your girl is gonna be more attracted to you. She's gonna love you more because she sees you leveling up instead of getting complacent, not doing anything, not really trying because now you have the girl. You did all these things to attract her, and now that you have the girl, you just don't really need to work as hard because you have the girl. And yeah, I just feel like women are doing us a favor where they want us to They want us to be better. They want us to do more better in our life, and they want us to better our life, do all these things. And on top, doing these things, they're gonna be more attracted to you, love you more, and it's gonna be a win-win because one, you've been focused on your purpose. You see that, you've been getting money. You're like, you're just happy. You're happier because you've just been focused on the grind. And since you've been doing all these things and not doing all these things focused, just focused, your girl's gonna love you more because you've just been going at it. You've been just been focused on your business. And yeah, I just feel like that's how we should go about it. When you get a girl, that isn't the end goal. When you get the girl, that's like just the beginning, where now you have to actually like be on the shit, because if you don't, then she might cheat, might leave you, might do any of these things. And yeah, just when you get the girl, just improve and improve and improve, because it's a win-win. You'll work harder, you'll level up more, and on top, your girl is gonna be more attracted to you. And it's just a win-win for the both of y'all, because she sees that you're going out being a man, being him, and just doing all these good things, amazing things. um and you, on top, you're gonna be proud of yourself because you've just been doing all these things. You just level up, doing all these things, and that's what we should try and strive to do, where you you just focus on yourself, level up, and everything falls into place. And yeah, that's basically so the main thing is, don't let go of the gas pedal. Don't don't get complacent, because if you do, your girl's gonna see a worse version of yourself, and it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well. And yeah, just when you get the girl, just focus. Matter of fact, go go more harder, because if you do, you're gonna be focused more, do all these things, and do all these things, and do all these things, and she'll see that, and she's gonna love you more. So it's just a win-win situation. And yeah, you know, basically, just the main thing is just don't make her your don't make her your main focus. She could be like your first is your purpose. And this doesn't mean where you're just not gonna like take her out, do all these things. No, I feel like you can still do that. Just focus on your business, do that, and then once like you you have like finished your work, you can now go talk to her. You can all now go hang out with her. you know and yeah, just don't get complacent, especially when you get in a relationship, because it's not worth it, bro. And yeah, just focus on yourself, and that's it. Just push harder, and just focus on you. Everything that you do correlates with your purpose. If they people see that you haven't been focused on your purpose, doing all these things, they'll see that, and they'll see a worse version than you are, and they're just gonna lose respect for you. And the same thing goes for your woman. You're just gonna lose respect for you, because she sees that you haven't been on your purpose, doing all these things. So just try and focus on your purpose. And yeah, that's basically it.